Hey there. So you've got one of these beautiful silver-plated garden markers, huh? Well, you're in the right place. In this little guide, we're going to cover everything you need to know to take care of them so you can enjoy that piece of history in your garden for years to come. Right, so you've placed this gorgeous repurposed vintage piece next to your basil or your thyme, and it just looks fantastic. But then you start wondering, what are the rain and the sun and all that dirt actually doing to it? That is the big question we're going to tackle today. We know you're busy, so let's not beat around the bush. We're going to get straight to the most important stuff right up front. First up, let's get into the real nuts and bolts of what it means to have one of these silver markers living outdoors. Okay, so here's the deal. The most important thing to remember is that these markers started their life as old dining pieces. If you want them to last for decades, they are happiest inside, maybe in an indoor herb garden or a protected pot out on the porch. The second they hit that wet, outdoor soil, the clock starts ticking a whole lot faster. The name of the game is really just moisture control. Now, just a quick reality check on what these are worth. These are what we call use and enjoy assets. Their value is all about their beauty, their history, their craftsmanship, not what you'd get for them at a scrapyard. They're meant to be part of your home and your garden story, not some investment you tuck away in a safe. All right, now let's look at the hard numbers. This is where you'll really see why where you put these things matters so much. And this table, well, it really tells the whole story, doesn't it? If you put your marker in a full outdoor garden, you're going to see tarnish in just days or weeks. You'll maybe get a couple of seasons out of it before it looks really weathered. But move it to a covered patio, and suddenly you're talking at 3 to 5 years. Bring it inside to that herb garden, that tarnish slows to a crawl, and that marker could literally last for decades. It's a huge difference. Okay, let's get into the science of it, the real truth from the bench, to understand the chemistry and, frankly, the common sense behind what happens to this silver. You just gotta love the honesty here, right? This isn't stainless steel. It's not plastic. It's a reactive metal. The idea of sticking a vintage piece of silver plate into the garden, especially with our wild Midwest weather here, and expecting it to stay pristine, well, that's just not how it works, folks. This slide just illustrates it perfectly. It's like two different lives your marker can lead. Indoors, it's a legacy piece. It's in a totally stable environment. But outdoors, it is in a constant chemical battle against acid rain, microbes in the soil, and those crazy temperature swings. And here is a real key piece of wisdom straight from the workshop: copper bleed. It's that faint pinkish color you might start to see. That's the base metal, the copper, showing through. It means the silver plating is physically gone, and no amount of polishing is ever going to bring it back. Outdoors, this process is just supercharged. Okay, so now that we know the why behind all this, let's talk about the how. Here's a real simple, tactical guide for taking care of your markers so you can just enjoy them without any worry. So first off, for any markers you have inside, just a simple monthly wipe with a soft microfiber cloth is perfect to keep the dust off. If things get a little grubby, you can use a tiny drop of mild dish soap and water, but, and this is super important, dry it completely right away to stop water spots. When tarnish does show up, you want to reach for a polishing cloth. Stay away from those harsh chemical dips. They can actually strip away the silver over time. For your outdoor pieces, try to place the markers so the engraved part isn't just sitting on wet leaves. And finally, for sure, bring them inside before that first frost hits. That freeze-thaw cycle is no friend to silver plate, believe me. All right, let's wrap this up with a quick round of the most common questions we hear all the time. This one is, without a doubt, the number one question. Everybody wants to know about that dark patina. And the honest answer is, you betcha. Yep, tarnish is just silver sulfide. It's a totally natural process, and outside, that process is just on overdrive. Now, you can always polish it, but in that environment, the tarnish is always going to come back. To be honest, some people really come to love that look. It's like the marker is earning its character. So the next logical question that always comes up is, well, can't I just seal it with something to protect it? It sounds like a really great idea, but we just don't recommend it. Those clear coats, they can yellow over time, they get brittle, they crack, and when that happens, moisture gets trapped underneath. It creates this ugly spiderweb tarnish that is just about impossible to remove without ruining the whole thing. And finally, a real practical question, especially for those of us who have these in our kitchen herb gardens. Is this stuff safe? You can totally relax on this one. That tarnish, the silver sulfide, it's chemically stable and inert. It will not harm your plants, and it absolutely will not harm you when you snip off some of those herbs for your dinner. So, the thought I really want to leave you with is this. Don't overthink the tarnish. Don't stress about it. Just think of it as the metal's way of showing it's been somewhere. It's the marker's story. Every spot and shadow shows that it's been living a life right there with your plants. So whether it's bright and shiny on your windowsill or dark and weathered out on the patio, just let it be part of your garden story. That's the honest truth from the bench.